Hello, Vaibhavi.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone who have joined us today. So we welcome to the open house for the admissions 2025 for the Center for Educational Technology. I'm Syaamantak. I'm an assistant professor here and also the admission coordinator for this year's M.Tech and Ph.D. programs. Along with me, I have Professor Sahana Murthy, our head, and our students from M.Tech and PhD program, who is going to give you the overview of the research that we do here at IIT Bombay in the Center for Education Technology, and also will give you their experiences. So let me hand over to Aditya and Sanchita, and they will take it forward from here.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the open house. I would now request our head of the Center for Educational Technology, Sahana ma'am, to give us a brief introduction of the department.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Aditya, Sanchita, Professor Syaamantak, and a big welcome to those of you who have joined from outside. I think we already have a few people who have joined. Very nice to see you all, and thanks for your interest. So, Aditya, can you just refresh the slides and then go to the next one? Yeah. Now you can go back in full screen and go to the next one, please. Okay, let me start talking. So this is the Center for Educational Technology at IIT Bombay. And next one, please. Next also. Perfect, thanks. So when we say educational technology, what all comes to your mind? If and I'm asking people who have joined, just recently joined, I am not asking the current students, but anybody from outside. I think we have Vaibhavi and who else? Abhishek. What comes to your mind? If you can unmute and speak or use chat, if you want to say, to share what you think comes to your mind when we hear the word educational technology.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
Good afternoon, ma'am. After listening educational technology, like for me, like anything which is not traditionally about talking, like even Blackboard is an educational technology for me
Okay.
because that is supporting a teacher to provide its ideas to the students properly and in a new way. So it's just not that any technology which we are saying any systems and other things. Even Blackboard is an educational technology for me.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for your inputs. Anyone else?
Yeah, hi ma'am, my name is Karthik.
Yeah. Hi, Karthik. Yeah.
Yeah, so what I believe, right, that even if you are personally a good teacher, but it will be very selfish to say that I can teach good, right? You cannot be everywhere to teach all the students. So I think education technology, somehow bridges that gap. You teach, develop some systems so that everybody can teach well because you cannot reach the whole world. So for me, education technology is that.
Okay. Very nice. Slightly different inputs, but we'll touch upon that also. Anyone else? One last input. Yes. Somebody has raised their hand, maybe?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Go ahead, Samarth. Yeah.
So, for me, it is any form of technology that is used for the purpose of teaching and learning in any sort of environment is falls under the
Okay.
ambit of education technology.
Okay. Vaibhavi, do you want to say something?
Yes, according to me, educational technology is like using our advanced technology to bridge a gap between a traditional educational method and the our latest technology, like using advanced whiteboard, advanced boards,
Okay,
like that.
got it. Okay, so it looks like you all have some ideas. All these ideas are correct. However, this is not a complete understanding of educational technology. In fact, you all did touch upon a lot of things. All of you did touch upon technology tools. Some of you said that even the old fashioned tools like Blackboard could be a technology. A lot of you did talk about current computer based technologies. Some of you talked about a teacher and teaching. Many of you talked about students. Some of you talked about access. All of this is valid. What is there additionally is, see, it's not only about the technology, though technology forms one piece, a big piece of it, but it's also about the learning and the teaching as much as the technology. So if you look up the word technology in the dictionary, you will actually see two meanings. Okay, one meaning is of course the tools and the devices and all, which is what most of us think when it comes to technology. But the second meaning of technology, if you look at any dictionary, it will say that technology is the science of doing something. You know, the way, the approach, the scientific approach to doing something. So that is also the meaning of technology that is present in educational technology. So it is the use of tools, use of largely current day tools, modern computer based technologies, web based technologies, and these days it could be AI also, but with more focus on the current tools in order to enhance and nurture the learning and teaching process. So there's as much emphasis on the process or the way of doing effective learning and teaching, which means under educational technology, we look at pedagogy, we look at learning theories, we look at social issues, socio-cultural issues. Some people even look at access issues, in addition to the technology tools. Okay, so the reason I wanted to give this broad understanding is when you look at the department web page, or if you get selected and you join the department, you will see that the research, the coursework, all of it, it spans both these or this entire understanding of technology as well as education. We have the education part also. So the why I wanted to put up this slide is this slide does show, you know, VR on the top right, there's some headset on the bottom right, there's some device on the top left, but at the end there is also a learning that's happening through these modern day technologies. Okay, so if the definition on the screen also says that it is the use of educational theories and practices. See, it starts with theories and practices and technology to facilitate learning. It is not limited to the use of technological devices, but also includes the study and research of processes and science of how people learn in order to enhance the teaching and learning process. So it's a very complete definition from all sides. So now let's go to a little bit more specific to what our department does. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so the vision of the center, and we are when we say center, we are actually an academic unit within IIT Bombay. So sometimes you will see people hear people say the word department. It's just a nomenclature issue. It's a small department. You can consider it that. It has a PhD program, it has a master's program, it has research, teaching, projects, lots of students, lots of engagement with external world like industry, governments, and so on. So, you know, department or center, it's all the same. So the vision is to be a source of ideas and innovations in technology for education and pedagogies for technology enhanced education. So this vision is in line with IIT Bombay's vision that it's a source of ideas and innovations. And the mission of the department is to nurture research and innovation, to foster outreach efforts, to create leaders from the students and other interns, students, and other staff who come to the department. We are also, if you look at the mission statement, it also says that areas which are critical to the Indian context. So we are we do look internationally, but we do have a focus on the problems of learning and teaching and the context that is, our own Indian context. Okay, next slide, please. So, okay, this is a bit of history, and I won't go through it in detail. We started in 2010. It was named as interdisciplinary program at that point. It still has a flavor of interdisciplinarity because, like I said, we have the tools. So if you come from a CS background or a other engineering background, there is that technology. If you come from a natural sciences background, we do study a lot about that, how people learn sciences, how people learn biology, physics, mathematics, and all. If you come from a social sciences background, psychology, sociology, political science, there are a lot of theories and methods there that we use there. So it's very, and if you come from a design background, there's a lot of principles from design that we use. Some courses are also design heavy. So it's interdisciplinary in nature. This kind of gives you a timeline of some key moments, which includes some big projects we did. For example, you will see that in 2013, there was a big project called Teach 10,000 Teachers. So it's teacher focused as well as student focused. We do some amount of online learning and teaching. So you will see some MOOCs in 2016. In 2019, we started the M.Tech program. Okay. And more recently, in 2022, we also initiated and we are part of a larger society called the EdTech Society. Next slide, please. Okay, and I think at this point, I will hand it over to my colleagues and students, but I just want to leave you with a broad idea that what we will do in this 1 hour is take you through the thrust areas of research. I just said that, look, we have student facing projects, we have teacher facing projects, we have projects where we study how people learn topics, we have projects where we study how learning happens, other projects where other research where we study how people develop thinking skills or practices. So we'll take you a little bit through that, and then our students will talk a little bit about the department culture, and I think then we can open it for Q&A. That's right, no, Sanchita? Okay, so welcome again, and hope you are able to learn what you came here for. Feel free to ask questions. You can actually post the questions on chat now. We will take it up in the second half of the this event. Over to you, Sanchita and Aditya.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. So now I would request my fellow PhD scholar Sanchita Jadhav to go over a few thrust areas. So over to you, Sanchita.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so now let's see about the thrust areas in educational technology. So we basically have 4 thrust areas. Teacher use of educational technology, TUET, technology enhanced learning of disciplinary practices, TELead, educational data analytics, EDA, and exploration of emerging technologies for education, that is emerge. So let's look into what is teacher use of educational technology. So basically in TUET, as ma'am had already said, that we did work upon some online platforms, and we have developed learner-centric MOOC, LCM model. So you can see on the left-hand side that what exactly LCM model is. And LCM is basically a conceptual model which an instructor can use to conceptualize, create, and conduct a learner-centric MOOC. So this is one part of it. Then we also have A2IT2 model. So that is attain, align, integrate, teach, and train. This was developed by Professor Lucian Ngezi. He was a PhD scholar in 2023. So it basically worked upon teachers' professional development. So this model has learners, as you can see in the diagram. Then it has learning assistants, co-trainers, and main trainers. So this is a model which was developed. Now TUET basically focuses on 3 different aspects. As you can see, it's research, development, and outreach. In research, you can see teacher design thinking, teachers' belief and practices, learner-centered MOOC design. Then in development, we have technology tools for education, evaluation of digital educational content, online teaching resources, and our outreach program, as we had already seen, MOOCs for school and college teachers, large-scale faculty development programs, and mentoring teachers in ET research. Then we had, as I said, that we had an outreach program under TUET. Tulna is a flagship program of our department, where 20 plus EdTech products evaluated for K-12 maths, English and science. 3 state governments adopted Tulna framework for procurement of decisions. So as you can see that how many teachers are being trained, it's being shown in the image there. So we have almost more than 1 lakh teachers being trained. Then 29 teacher development programs conducted across country since 2011. So we have 53 teacher development program conducted across country since 2011. And you can see that the outreach part of it. Now the next is technology. The next thrust area is technology enhanced learning of disciplinary practices, TELead. So what is the vision of TELead? To foster conducive research environment for designing and developing evidence-based tools, strategies, and learning environments to teach and learn disciplinary practices in diverse domains. So design-based research. Now in this, you can see problem in learning and teaching, analysis and exploration of skills and learning, design and development of learning environments, frameworks, evaluate, reflect on the design, results. So these are some projects which our alumni and our present students have done on it. Now, the uncertainty management and engineering design process is a project developed by Dr. Navneet Kaur. Then our present student, Ulfa, a PhD student in our department, is working on estimation in computer-supported collaborative learning using OELE. And then we have Perspex, which is developed by Dr. Herald, our alumni. And we have Makerspace, our present student Alek, who's working on it. So these projects, as you see, students' feedback, seeking and its role in competency development. So investigating nature of students' feedback, seeking actions and its role in development of disciplinary competence, like representational competence in chemistry, higher education context. Then larger aim is to inform the sustainable feedback practices. Then Perspex, as you had seen here, Dr. Herald had developed it. So it focuses on the effect of virtual reality, as ma'am had started, when ma'am briefed about the tools we are having. So VR is one tool, but we are working upon. And here Perspex focuses on investigating the effects of virtual reality and a based perspective taking on learners noticing during decision making in a complex public scenario. So the disciplinary practices includes the processes, skills, and knowledge used by professionals such as scientists, engineers, and designers to do work and achieve their goal. So TELead impact and outreach. So impact contribute to the understanding of how students learn in different settings, why they struggle while learning, so their learning process might get support when and where required. Helping teachers design classroom activities to foster student learning and to enable learners to take control of their own learning process. And as we had earlier seen that the outreach successfully trained over 2,000 students in various disciplinary practices. Most of the systems are standalone. Students can use to learn at home or by the teachers as a supplementary tool to teach students. Now, the next thrust area, I would like to hand over to Aditya. But before handing over, if you have any queries in the 2 thrust areas which we have just seen, you can put it in the comments, and please put your queries in the comments. We'll take it over in the Q&A session. So I'll hand it over to Aditya now.
Thank you so much, Sanchita. So the perfect. Yeah. So the next thrust area that we have is educational data analytics. Next slide, please. So this diagram essentially lets us know what this thrust area is about. So as it is written, it is about developing practical learning solutions grounded in data analytics that can benefit a wide range of learners. If you look at the image in the center, you can see that there are different kinds of input devices such as eye trackers, GSR sensors, face cameras, EEG. What they are doing is they are interacting with a learning environment in which student is actually interacting and working on an application or something else. And then we are going to create a student model and probably offer some personalized feedback. So essentially what we are doing is we are looking at the learner, how they are working with different tools and devices using these kinds of input and sensory devices. Next slide, please. So the vision of EDA is data analytics, working with data, using multimodal data, and something in relation to working with learning sciences in connection with traditional data science. So we do a lot of cognition, affect-based personalization of different learning systems. Next slide. Next. Next. Yeah, that's good. So um, I'm not going to go too much into detail because of time into what cognition, affect, learner engagement, learner behavior, and metacognition and self-regulation is. But I just want to keep up with it is way more than just analyzing your eyes and gestures. It is understanding what students are thinking and doing in that particular point of time when they are working with these particular tools and devices, which are the interventions that the department has created. So it is much more deeper research into understanding learner behavior. Next slide. Our next thrust area is emerge, exploration of emerging technologies for education. Next slide. So what does emerge process entail? We have a teaching learning problem. We are exploring these different technologies, VR, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, all these kinds of technologies which are not in current classroom in India. What then we do is we look at different pedagogy integration for those kinds of devices, and then we find out effective use of those devices by doing some studies in which we do data collection and data analysis. So we next slide, please. So we have a course which usually freshman students take in masters, freshman M.Tech, first year M.Tech students and first year PhD students take, which is ET 606 Tools Lab. And in that course, we essentially go into nitty-gritties of these modern age tools. And these are some of the projects that the students have created, which have come out of that particular class. So we have these different projects. Yes, next slide, please. We have a lot many PhD scholars which are actually working on multiple tools which are up in the can you have you all mute your audio, please? Thank you so much. Okay. So we have like these some of these projects which actually are used by uh, the different PhD scholars. They have created these projects, and more research is going on into understanding different kinds of things such as affect, self-regulation, and all those things inside. Okay. Next slide, please. Next slide. So I'm going to talk briefly about our department culture. So Educational Technology Department, Center for Educational Technology is one big happy family where we meet every single Friday in between 3 to 5 p.m. And we have something called as a Friday meeting. So we do a lot of collaboration, communication with each other. The idea of this particular Friday meeting is to discuss ongoing projects, share updates, address challenges, and plan for future initiatives. We have everyone from current students to faculty, postdoc, staff, interns, alumni. Most of them come in, participate, and give their input. Next slide. We do a lot of educational trips, especially our M.Tech students do go out on an internship, and we look at what is going up in the current field for the research that we are doing. Yeah. Next slide. We have a great culture of sports at IIT Bombay. Educational Technology, the Center for Educational Technology is a part of the postgraduate sports council, as well as different teams that are there in IIT Bombay. We have some really great sports players in our department who have won medals at IIT and inter-IIT level. So that's a culture that we have. We go out, we have fun, and it's a great campus for sports too. Next slide. We do a lot of outdoor activities. The campus has a hill. We do some trekking over there. We do bicycle riding, which is a common thing in a huge campus of IIT Bombay. Yeah. We do a lot of celebrations. You all can see some pictures that we have. We do potlucks, just as a means to connect with each other and have that sense of camaraderie. And finally, the department is known for its research, and we have hosted a number of international conferences here at IIT Bombay, ICALT, ICCE, ISLIS, T4A, and EVMR, to name a few conferences in India, internationally, where there's a very strong IIT Bombay Center for Educational Technology impact. So we also encourage a lot of PhD scholars to write to conferences and go and seek input from different scholars across the world. Next slide. Career opportunities and future prospects. So for this, I would like to invite one of our M.Tech scholars, Mayur, to talk a little bit more about M.Tech internships and placement opportunities that an M.Tech student might have. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. Do we have Mayur? Yeah. Mayur, can you hear us? I don't think you're audible.
Hello, Aditya. Am I audible now?
Yeah, the voice is cracking a lot. Is it?
Okay, I'll. Sorry for the inconvenience. Can you switch to Suraj? Maybe I'll come back after Suraj.
Perfect. Okay. Sanchita, can you go to the next slide? So we have another M.Tech scholar, Suraj, who next slide please. Suraj, who is currently on an opportunity abroad in Japan, and he is going to give us a little bit more brief overview of how student life is there for an M.Tech student and some opportunities that are there in the campus and outside campus for an M.Tech student. Suraj,
Yep.
over to you.
So, hi, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, thanks, Aditya. So, yeah. So, I'll start. Like, my name is Suraj, and I'm currently in second year of M.Tech in Center for Educational Technology, IIT Bombay, and this is my last semester. So, the experience has been nothing but fantastic. Like, the environment is very friendly. Everyone is so supportive. You know, your ideas will always be heard. The ET lab is a very wonderful place. You can sit there and work for like hours. You will get to work on really nice projects in 2 years. And of course, the IIT Bombay campus, like I don't have to tell you guys how great the IIT Bombay campus is. I guess everyone knows this from YouTube shorts or YouTube videos or anything. So as Aditya mentioned, I'm currently in Japan for a student exchange program. So yes, you can get opportunities like this as well if you're in ET. So if you have a great project idea that you can pitch to some professor abroad that aligns with your maybe master's project, that way you can definitely come to abroad. And yeah, I guess experience has been wonderful. I still feel like I just came yesterday in the campus, and in 3-4 months I'll be going out of the campus. So yeah, I hope you guys, whoever there are, like who wants to get into ET they will definitely enjoy the 2 years they'll get in the campus. And yeah, I guess that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suraj. I'm now going to invite our next scholar. So we have Alisha Sinha, who is a PhD scholar, and she can talk a little bit more about the composition of a PhD program and a little bit more about the diversity of the lab. So over to you, Alisha.
Thank you, Aditya. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. A very good afternoon to everyone here. I am Alisha, and as Aditya introduced me, I'm in my second year here. I am an architect by qualification so far, and I would just like to talk a little about how versatile we are in our composition. As Sahana ma'am also mentioned in her presentation, that we have research scholars from diverse fields, including biology, mathematics, design, sociology, and architecture, like myself, in addition to the ones who are coming with technological technological backgrounds like engineering. And despite this diversity, the department has designed its coursework to be very inclusive and accessible, ensuring everyone can learn comfortably regardless of their academic background. I think this point of mine would answer one of the questions in the chat, which talks about if you're not very good with programming languages, is this the right fit for you? That kind of a skill is one of the components that is good to have, but it's not a compulsion. And like ma'am also said, highlighted that the department focuses strongly on the research process and not the end product. So if the research process, and if you're learning the methods, and if you're doing your study properly, then you have multiple avenues to explore. This approach ensures that genuine learning is occurring throughout the entire research journey. And by valuing the process and the learning that happens along the way, ET as a center creates a very welcoming and an inclusive environment for people who are coming from various professional backgrounds. This philosophy also allows individuals from different disciplines to engage meaningfully with the research work, in a way that it helps you to identify your strengths and apply them effectively in the research process. And additionally, it also opens numerous avenues for you in terms of learning opportunities, new skills that you can acquire during the process of time, and allow you to expand your knowledge beyond your original field of expertise. That's how it has been for me and many of my co researchers, and hence we are very welcoming in that sense. I hope that is clear enough to answer the question as well.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much, Alisha.
Thank you.
Um,
Over to it.
with that, I'd like to call upon Sunny. So, Sunny would enlighten us a little bit more on what is like to be a PhD student in educational technology, the student life, and some opportunities related to that can entail in our lab. So, over to you, Sunny.
Hi, thanks, Aditya. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Sunny, and so I think I would just expand upon what Alisha was just mentioning earlier, that the department here creates a really welcoming environment for you know diverse cohort of learners. And to sort of add upon what Suraj just mentioned, since PhD tenure is a little bit longer than 2 years, so you'll get to enjoy the niceties of the department as well as IITs for a bit longer time. Um, in addition to that, if I specifically talk about opportunities during and post PhD, so during PhDs, like our scholars mentioned, that you will get to explore your ideas in multiple ways, and some of the conventional ways, like you can go for conferences, you can also present your ideas at in front of teachers, and you can also through this program, you also get to interact with and work on live problems related to education. And so you can also do a lot of field studies if you want, and, connect with the real problems of the people. Additionally, post PhD, what has been seen is that the PhD scholar upon graduation gets multiple opportunities, in the sense that obviously there is one route of traditional academia where you can go on and pursue research in institutions. However, in addition to that, there are also ample opportunities in the industry. So some of industry and non-profit organizations, some of the key organizations that our alumni are part of are, you must have heard about um, MGIEP, yeah. So United Nations MGIEP, NPTEL, and likewise. Uh, Additionally, there people who are entrepreneurially inclined, they also get ample opportunities from the IIT and the campus and the department, sorry, to explore their ideas in the field. So yeah, to answer your question in one line, you can possibly do anything that you desire after PhD. So yeah, over to you, Aditya.
Thank you so much, Sunny. So, I think Mayur is probably online. Mayur, can you hear us?
Yes, Aditya, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. So, Mayur is going to talk a little bit more about M.Tech internships and placements and how they work, and what are the different opportunities that an M.Tech student can have in the department. Over.
Yeah, so for M.Tech students, it's kind of mandatory to go through a 2 month internship after their second semesters. A lot. So first, I will go through some of the roles. So during our internships, some of our alumni and ourselves have worked as a data analyst or a educational researcher, and product developer, instructional designer, etc. And currently, and To give you an example, I myself worked at Khan Academy as a data analyst intern in 2024. Um, can you please go on to the next slide? And these are some of the organizations in which a lot of our alumni have done internships and are currently working at. As Sunny mentioned previously, that some of our alumni are working at UNESCO MGIEP, NPTEL, Kotak Education Foundation. We also have and Kyoto University as well. Few of our M.Tech alumni are currently working at International Rice Research Institute, Kotak Education Foundation again, Qubits Learning. This year, a lot of our M.Tech students have currently gotten placed into Next Wave Education Research and Piramal Foundation. There are plenty of internship placement opportunities at educational technology. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayur. Finally, we're going to move on to senior research scholar Debarshi, who's going to talk a little bit more about EdTech research and what's beyond. Over to you, Debarshi.
Hi, hello everyone.
Yeah.
So the research that we do in our department spans different areas. It has a lot of variety. I particularly work on more quantitative research. Specifically, I work in detecting learning strategies in learners. In our presentation, you may have got an idea that understanding how people learn is one of the key questions that we try to answer in our department. That's sort of broadly what my research entails. Uh, Other projects, there are other projects which are more qualitative heavy. There are plenty of projects which are mixed methods. It includes usage of both quantitative methods as well as qualitative methods. So I have seen a lot of questions in the chat which have asked whether research in our department requires programming language. So although there are like certain projects which do require programming knowledge, that is by no means a necessity for joining the department. In the first year, you will all have a number of courses which will train you, which will make you be at the level of all students at the end of the first year will be at the same level. So there will be courses which will teach you on more social aspects of learning. There will be courses which will train you on programming aspects of learning. So and that sort of variety in courses carries forward to our projects as well. So there are a lot of technical projects as well. There are a lot of social aspects of learning. There are socio-emotional aspects of learning, both teacher facing and student facing projects. And that's broadly what the department is about.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing to what Debarshi said, because this question has come up a couple of times about programming. So I completely agree with you, Debarshi, and others who have spoken that it's not it's not absolutely essential to know programming when you do come in. We have people from other domains also, but you should be willing to learn when you're here, Because if your project requires programming of any sort, we just expect you to dive right in and learn it. And by programming, take it broadly. It's not necessarily writing 10,000 lines of code on a using text and all. It's all different kinds of programming and so on. But just be willing to learn the technology or the programming that's required after you join. Okay, just wanted to make that distinction. Back to you, Aditya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone, for your input. We would now, Sanchita, can you go to the next slide? We would now go to the Q&A session. We have a few PhD scholars, and then we have Professor Syaamantak and ma'am, if required, to help us answer some of these questions. So I'll read out, and if we have any scholars who could help us get a little bit more in-depth answer to those questions, I'd request them to raise their hand so that we can answer. Sanchita, can you just minimize it and project it again? Yeah. Okay, Samarth, let's see if the question is here. I think it should be in one of the questions in the list. If not, then we'll probably add it. Okay. So, is coding experience a must, or is there? I think this is answered well about coding experience. Students coming from a non-technical background, I think Alisha alluded that to a little bit also, where she mentioned that all of us are from different interdisciplinary fields. So yeah, or is there enough support? Yes, there is enough support. Does anyone else want to jump in and like help us a little bit with this question? Is coding experience a must? Or, I think that is quite answered, right?
Yeah, I think you can go to the next one, Aditya. There are some other questions also.
What kind of research projects are happening in the department right now? Are students working on AI-driven tutoring? Oh, that's interesting. VR, AR learning environments or large-scale learning analytics. Do we have any research scholar who wants to take this up?
Okay, Aditya, maybe I'll answer
Sure,
this.
sir. Yes.
Hi. So it depends upon various faculty specialized researches that are going on. So currently in our department, as you have seen in their major four trust areas, and in between those trust areas, there are also specific areas. For example, Professor Sridhar works in computer science education. Professor Ramkumar Rajendran works in analytics. I personally work in AI aid. Professor Murthy works in learning sciences and related areas. So depending upon that, whichever faculty you are willing to work with, the projects are basically assigned. And we also look into consideration what's the background of the student is. So yeah, there are currently students who are working on AI-driven tutoring. We are also working on smart textbooks. We're also looking into VR AI learning environments. And also there are researches that are going on regarding learning analytics. So more details you can find with respective faculties, research area and the current research publications that they have made. Okay.
Thank you, sir. The next question is about how supportive is the department when it comes to publishing papers, attending international conferences, or collaborating with industry?
Maybe again I should take up this. Okay, so we definitely encourage you to publish papers. Okay, so because we expect that as a graduate of IIT Bombay, whether you are from a master's or for a PhD, you should come up with really groundbreaking papers that can foster the field. Okay, so although it's not mandatory for in M.Tech, but in case of PhD, it's definitely yes. We do recommend it's necessary for you to publish at least a couple of papers before you can consider submission of your thesis. For publishing papers, if you have looked into our brochure, you have seen that there's a wide range of conferences, right from national to international level, depending upon the various subjects, whether it's from AIED or whether it's from international user interfaces, whether it's from learning sciences. So that gives you that opportunity to spread across your research in whatever area of educational technology you'd like to put in. Okay, so this is something we definitely encourage you to go ahead. How supportive is the department? Yes, the department do try to provide you with all the necessary fundings that can help you to get these papers accepted, and for that you can go there and present it as well. Regarding collaboration with the industry, yes, there is one specific time in the M.Tech program duration where you are supposed to go and work with the industry for a given period of time and come back and present that work that you have done there as a part of your internship. So it's a must and a mandatory stuff if you're joining here as an M.Tech. Also, if you are joining here as a PhD candidate, we do look into how you can collaborate with other universities, other labs, other faculties across the globe. And there can be options for you to go for as a research exchange program. I think Aditya can be a good example to talk about it because he's probably going somewhere in near upcoming months. So maybe Aditya can just you can just chip it a bit for that. Okay, so I think that gives the answer to the third point. And
Thanks, Professor
yeah,
Syaamantak. I just want to add one more thing
sure.
about the conference part. So, students, full-time TA students in IIT Bombay, whether M.Tech or PhD, that TA students as in you should have cleared GATE and come through the TA/RA category. The institute does provide funding. Um, Up to like there are different levels for M.Tech students. It's one national conference during their tenure. For PhD students, one national and one international conference. So there is some funding from the institute also. And like Professor Syaamantak said, PhD students, are required to write papers. So we are an academic institution. So just wanted to mention the institute level funding also.
And also like our department has a very good track record of getting scholarships from the national and international levels. So we have a good number of PMRFs, which is supposed to be the best funding that you can get as a PhD candidate. So if you really have a good chance of writing a good thesis and a research problem, you might be opting for that also. And PMRF gives you a lot of additional opportunities to get funding for going ahead and publishing your papers. Okay, if I can take up the last question, for someone coming from an engineering background with no formal education in psychology or pedagogy, how challenging is it to adapt? Well, that's, I think, is something that we expect you to learn in the process of whether you were in the M.Tech or in the PhD. Maybe in the M.Tech it's for 1 year and then you follow it up with a research problem, but in PhD it's slightly longer. But I think that's what makes us truly an interdisciplinary thing in terms of doing research. So we have a lot of people who are coming from engineering background and then learning about the core science, core educational things, while it's true for the reverse case also, that a lot of people who are coming from humanities and social science background and then they're taking up the technical skills and developing tools and to foster their research. So it's a both way, and it's a great experience to learn if you are doing some educational technology, which is essentially a very interdisciplinary research. So if you also look into our research page in our website, you will find that our research students research area varies from multiple domains. So as I pointed out in one of the question before, that there is no one or two specific conferences or journal that we're looking into. There is a bunch of multiple journals and conferences where our researches gets published. So that's what makes us truly interdisciplinary, and it's a fun thing to learn if we're willing to do that.
So I have a question for current students. How many of you come from an engineering background with no formal education or psychology when you joined? Do a quick hand raise.
Okay, Sunny.
Right. So can a couple of you speak about how it was for you to adapt? Maybe one M.Tech and one PhD.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, Devashi, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I can speak on this because I came from a proper engineering background. I did both my master's and bachelor's in computer science. So I had no formal education in educational psychology or pedagogy. In our department, in the first year itself, you will be you'll be learning you'll be taking part in a lot of courses which will train you exactly on this point. So people who are coming from specifically from, say, educational psychology or education background but lacking in, say, technical skills or programming skills or software skills will be trained in those aspects. People who are coming from engineering background like myself will be trained in formal courses on educational psychology. So we offer courses like learning sciences, we offer courses like self-regulated learning, instructional systems design. So all of these courses are meant to train you exactly for this, to overcome this challenge. That because every student, if you ever visit our department website and look at the profiles of all the students, all of them come from a big variety of background. And but in the first year itself, you'll get a lot of opportunity to learn in the classroom. Beyond the classroom, in our Friday meetings, we discuss on different topics. We discuss on technical topics. Yesterday we had a good discussion, 2-hour discussion on AI, human AI, Gen AI in human settings. So you'll get plenty of opportunity to learn uh, about educational psychology and pedagogy, even if you do not come from a formal background. But like ma'am said, that you just need to be willing to learn. That's it.
Anyone from M.Tech, Mayur, Suraj?
Hi Aditya, can you hear me?
Yeah, Suraj.
Yeah, so I guess Devarshi mentioned all of the points. But actually, it was kind of fun for me because I've never learned educational theories or how people learn in details in my educational, journey. So I did my B.Tech in IT. So I'm also an engineer. So I would say if you're an engineer, you will become interested because if you have that kind of engineering mind, if I may say, those things will definitely intrigue you if you're interested in educational technology in some way. So yeah, I mean, you will definitely get used to it in first semester itself after a few lectures. So don't worry about that. That's what I would say.
Awesome. Sanchita, can you refresh and go to the next slide if possible? Because I think some more questions have been added to the next slide. Perfect. Just a quick time check. We are at 4:51. So we have about 10-ish minutes left. Okay. So our working professionals open to PhD in education, especially TUET.
Okay, so maybe I can take on this. So
Yeah, just a quick note. By the way, there has been if you look at the chat, there was a couple of
yes.
exchanges on this also. Okay, so
Okay.
go ahead, Professor Sham. But yeah.
Yeah, so for in the PhD, we do have a college teacher category. If you are a college teacher who is working and trying to get your PhD along with your work, so that can be one option. Otherwise, you have to look into, as ma'am mentioned, that what specific category you want to do it. So this can be one option for you. So maybe you can take it offline to find what exactly will be the right category for you to apply. Okay, so let me take on the next question. How strong is the peer learning culture? Do students from different academic backgrounds collaborate, or they tend to stick to their expertise areas? Okay, so let me tell you that our Center for Educational Technology is a very student-driven center. So in fact, this entire event that's being happening is being run by students. So right from the brochure that has been created to making this entire event happening, all and the background work that's been going on is unimaginable. And this is being done not by a single group or a single year student. It is being done by all across. So we have students who have not even completed 1 year of their PhD program right now, till we have people who are about to submit their thesis. So there is a very, very strong peer learning culture that's there. So expect yourself that if you have joined here as a M.Tech or a PhD student, right after the first semester, you will be asked to go along with your senior students to conduct a study where they will be conducting the study and you will be helping out them to understand how exactly the study is being done. And it may not be necessarily from the particular faculty under whom you have applied for. It can be with any other faculty, with any other students working on any other different projects, just to give you that understanding that how research is being done. So it also allows you to develop your breadth regarding the research that is being done in educational technology. Also allows you to understand, get more hands-on feeling that how research is being done, how data is being collected, etc. And also allows you to get to know your seniors much more better and develop that bond home. So we have a very, very strong peer learning culture in our department. Okay. Also, you're encouraged to take up a secondary research project at your initial years, which is slightly different from the main research that you are doing, just to give you that additional breadth of the educational technology domain. So that's again fosters regarding the peer learning culture that is there. Okay. Are there opportunities to explore learning experience designing and how it impacts engagement, retention, and motivation in learners? Yes, there are opportunities depending upon the project you are taking in. For example, if you are doing researches on learning analytics, engagement, retention, you do have options to create some learning experience design. If you're working on HC-related projects, you can develop tools or platforms that can allow you to do so. So it depends upon exactly on the project that you are doing. How manageable is the workload? Is there time to explore other interests like tech fests, cultural activities, or even startups? Yes, definitely. Although the workload is like a standard IIT. Okay, so maybe the students will be able to give the better answer because I'm talking from faculty point of view. But yes, it's a pretty manageable workload. And yes, you definitely get time to explore fests like Tech Fest. So we do have a dedicated program called Tech Connect, where the first year students are allowed to go explore and represent the ongoing researchers that is being going in the department to present to the public. So that gives you a very good connection to have a to explore how to deal with public events. Cultural activities, yes. There are a number of students who have participated in the Inter-IIT Cultural Fest, Tech Fest, even sports, and they have came back with medals. Startups, yes, some of our alumni have went ahead to develop their startups. Some of the students currently who are on roll are planning to develop their own startups based on the internal funding. So there is option for that. Okay, what is the admission process to join the program? Okay, so maybe I have to, I can show this sometimes later. So and maybe I'll take up this question later and show you exactly where from you can get the necessary information regarding the admission process. Back to you, Aditya.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have one last question in the chat, I think, which was posted by Karthik.
Okay.
So, Karthik, the broad areas of research are there on the website, and we have four different categories of research, if I may say informally. It's TUET, TELead, EDA, and Emerge. So TUET deals with teacher use of educational technology. As the name suggests, TELead teaches talks about different interdisciplinary areas of educational technology and where we can apply educational technology in those different areas. EDA talks about educational data analytics, learning analytics, multimodal data, how we can collect and work on it. And finally, we have Emerge, which talks about different kind of emerging tools and technology like AR, VR, artificial intelligence, and how you can incorporate that into different kinds of interventions as well as analytics as well as research per se. So those are the broad areas, and more details, in-depth details can be found on the website. Yeah.
So Aditya, let me just add to that a little bit. So Karthik, I saw your background also, that you're currently a faculty member in the minor program at IIT Roper. So I'm sure you understand that, when you're in a department, there are research projects and there are development projects, especially in CS. That this continuum is very clear. So the kind of topic you mentioned, which is live online teaching sessions and what are some best practices and all, so there is a little bit of research in it, but it's largely a development project, where even when we come up with some guidelines, then it's a matter of trying out the guidelines, make sure it's effective and all that. So yes, there are projects like that, there are some opportunities, but I would put it more on the development side and not so much at the PhD level research side. Maybe like a small research project. Hope that's clear.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. It was clear.
Okay, so we do have about a minute left. Over to you, Sham sir, if you want to go over the admission process, because the next slide is about thank you and where you can find
Yeah,
us.
sure. I'll do that. So let me know if my screen is visible. So if we just go to Google and type IIT Bombay admissions 2025, I will be coming right into the second link, which is called admissions to M.Tech and Ph.D program. And here is basically where you can get all the necessary informations regarding the M.Tech and Ph.D programs which you are trying to get into. So here is the M.Tech or M.Tech plus dual degree. So we don't offer the M.Tech plus PhD dual degree. We just have an M.Tech and PhD separate. And here are a couple of other programs, and here is the PhD link. So if you click on each of these, they will open up and give you exactly more details regarding what to do. So there is a admissions FAQ, there is a detailed advertisement, and there is a consolidated schedule for the admissions, and there's an information brochure. So everything is available here at your fingertips. Just go through them, get yourself acquainted whether you have necessary qualifications and others, and do apply. So the deadline for applying without the late fine is is 11th April 2025. So that's around another 15 days. So that's what you can look into. Okay. And so same goes for M.Tech also. Here you can look into what exactly the eligibility criteria others and what what the M.Tech programs in educational technology department offers. Okay, so there was a question in the chat regarding the written test. I think it's from Abhishek as well as from Samarth. So for that, let me just show you what's the stuff. So if you go to ET IITB, again, you need to go to Google and you will find here is our department. And our department's website, there is in the top, there is one admissions link here. So under the admissions, you have both M.Tech and PhD. So under the M.Tech, here is your detailed eligibility and other stuff. The syllabus is primarily related to GATE, okay, but not under a specific subject, because we do have a interdisciplinary way of looking into it. So it's you can call it like the initial part of the gate where you have those generic questions from, let's say, from the English comprehension, something about logical reasoning, something about uh, and statistics, basic statistics, etc. So that primarily covers the written part of M.Tech. In case of PhD, it's slightly different, where we give you some papers to read from which is related to EdTech, and then we try to gauge your question understanding of those things. Also, another thing important regarding the PhD, especially is a one-page, approximately 500 word statement of purpose. So if you're applying for PhD, please do take time to write your statement of purpose, because that actually is one of the deciding factor regarding your application, that how good it is your research proposal, and how it aligns with your previous academic qualifications, and how you plan to take it forward in the if you are in. Okay, So I would request you to please take your time to write that statement of purpose. Don't give us any generic statement of purpose, because that reduces your probability of getting admission. Okay, so the deeper you go, the more granular you go in that statement of purpose, you write more about the research problem that you are trying to get into and how you are planning to address it, the better is your chance for getting into the PhD program. Okay, so I guess that covers most questions regarding the admissions. Other details are already available. The date for the exams for PhD is 13th of May, Tuesday. And for M.Tech, it's going to be the 9th of May, this year.
There are a couple of people have asked about the written test, Professor Shyam.
Yeah. Okay, let me just.
Are we planning to post some?
Yeah, so maybe we'll upload some previous year questions if that works for you. Okay.
Yeah, but broadly speaking, written test is more like it's one stage. It's a filter. It'll have some questions related to aptitude, analytical ability, some questions related to a few learning theories, some very basic ones. We want to see how you are able to apply. Some will give you a scenario and ask you some questions related to research methods on it. So it's usually for 1.5 to 2 hours for PhD, and I think 1 hour for M.Tech, roughly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have just typed it in the chat that the written stage for M.Tech is primarily English comprehension, logical reasoning, basic statistics. That it's similar, somewhat like the GATE initial set of questions that you get, common general part. Okay, and for PhD it's slightly different, so it varies depending upon every year. So yeah, maybe we'll upload some sample questions for both the entrance exams.
Thank you, sir. Sanchita, can you project the? Sanchita, can you hear me?
Okay, I guess.
Okay, I'll just project the screen on my computer. Oh, there it is. Perfect. So for the final slide, we want to thank you all for coming to this open house, and don't forget to note our contact details. So the contact details is admissions.et@iitb.ac.in. That's the email. You can contact us for any more information you want about admissions. Most details about the program, about students, can be found on the website et.iitb.ac.in. So you can get all the information about students, their research, faculty, the research, as well as the labs. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Sir, do you want to have like?
That's fine. So we have prepared a information brochure, which is available at our LinkedIn post handle. So if you are there, you can take a look into that. That also gives what exactly the various researches are being conducted in our department under individual faculty. And if you wish to get in touch to know more about those researches, you feel free to contact us. We'll be more than happy to give you some of the basic ideas regarding what we can and what kind of researches we are doing. Yeah, I guess.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll call this the end. So, Sanchita, thank you.
Bye, everyone, and we hope to see you for the written stages.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Bye.
All the best to the new potential students. Bye.
Yes.